Um, my name is Onaiwu, and I'm doing my presentation on journalism and film editing. So, when I was young, I wanted to be a superhero, and I had this ambition for helping people and like just making a difference. But as I grew, I realized that it didn't really make sense for me to be a superhero. So I chose just to be Obama. So if I can't be Spider-Man, I'll be Obama. I can still help people. And then I grew just a little bit more, and I realized that I couldn't be Obama either because I'm blessing this. So then I created an obsession for fame. I wanted to be famous. That's all I cared about. I just wanted to talk to people. I wanted to just climb this social ladder, and then I just wanted to be the center of attention. That's all I cared about. And I thought that maybe if I knew enough people, then I would just reach stardom. But then I grew a little bit more, and I realized that that really lacks substance. And fame is just a reward for the substantial. So I started looking, what is substantial? What is substantial? And then I started doing some research, and I saw quotes. And these quotes kept saying, hard work, dedication, you'll get to your dreams. Just so cliche, you know. Ever since we've been young, we've been hearing about hard work, hard work, hard work. And that's fine and all. Yes, if we work hard and dream big, we will get to our destination. But ever since we've been young and we've heard work hard, the word has really just diminished in meaning. So one day I came across a quote, and it said, keep going. One day I came across a quote, and it said, sleep is for billionaires. And that really just changed my whole perspective on just being successful. Because if you really wanted to be successful, you wouldn't stop. You would keep going until you really get to that level. So I started asking myself, what is substantial? And what am I willing to give my sleep up for? And, you know, I thought I wanted to be an electrical engineer. So, you know, I was like, you know, I'm going to get that money because they make a lot of money. And, you know, I'm good at math and physics. But they didn't really fit my characteristics. So I took an online survey, and I found out that I am a helper, I'm friendly, I'm easily liked, I'm a people person, I brainstorm well, I have strong values and viewpoints, and I have the ability to make strangers feel like old friends. And when I read all this, I was just like, wow, this is me. This is just me right here. And when I looked at the bottom, I saw what people like this do, and I saw journalism. And I was like, wow, maybe I need to start looking at journalism. And then I did, and I really just fell in love with it. And I was already in broadcast, and I was really good with film editing and journalism. So put together, it was really dynamic for me. And journalism is printing what someone else does not want printed. Everything else is public relations. And then some of my research assessments are 10 helpful tips for students who are thinking of entering the journalism field. And these 10 hints were inspiration, education, job opportunities, location, competition process, timing, pay, relationship, and risk versus reward. And the most important to me were inspiration and relationships, because I feel like if you're inspired, then you'll really put yourself out there. You'll meet new people, and that'll really make you successful. And then I did another one on She Hits Harder Now on Lisa Ling. And she, if you don't know, Lisa Ling is a well-known journalist that she just has been amazing. And one thing that really stood out for me, it was she got famous, or not really necessarily famous. She started her career at 16 or 17. And how she started was she did a program similar to ISM, and she put herself out there. And then a TV broadcasting station saw her and just picked her up. And ever since then, she's just been public. And I just really thought that was important because, you know, I'm the same age as her, or around the same age, and I was just like, wow, that can happen to me. And then the next one was 5 questions to ask before making a documentary. And it was just why you want to make one, uniqueness, relevance, and the end. And that was important because if you want to make a story or like a journalism story, you need to know why you want to make it. You don't want people to question why you're doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? So, and also you should have a unique perspective, because some people, documentaries are boring to them. So you have to be really involved in what you're doing. You have to have that unique perspective. And then for digital and video editing, people ask me, like, why are you doing journalism and film editing? And I feel like those really go together, because as a journalist, you're telling the story. But as a film editor, you get to manipulate it any way you please. You can choose to put in what you want to put, and you can choose to subtract what you don't want in there. So you kind of like the puppeteer. And that is it, creation, manipulation, and juxtaposition. And then in my film editing assessments, I put to appreciate the art of film editing. And that was just about how in every movie, everyone's favorite movie, everyone remembers the part. So let's say you know, superhero, you know, does something great. But if you really think about that scene, the film editing, you don't think about it, because if film editing is on point, then you can't tell. If you can tell that, oh, that was choppy, that's not going to be your favorite part of the movie. So it should really be. Keep going. And then for my my first and most important interview was Mr. Tosin. He is a family friend to my father. My father is a pastor, so he has a lot of connections. And he is the founder of Trini Africa. And Trini Africa is a magazine company and a website. And what they do, they really highlight things that happen in the Nigerian or just in the African culture in this Dallas community, and also back in Nigeria. And go ahead. And this is important to me because I'm creating a documentary, and on this documentary is going to be called The Promised Land. And it's about African immigration. And I'm just going to read this. When the subject of immigration is brought up, people typically begin to think of ways to slow down the rate increase on the borders. But only few think about what attracts people to America. Other countries perceive American as different ways. For example, some Middle Eastern countries are so envious of America that they have bitterness, and it turns to profound hatred, causing them to commit heinous acts of violence. So, I mean, for Africa, it's really not the same, because we really look up to America. You know, as a third world country, we really look up to America. But other countries actually don't do that. But the thing is that we had this misconception that America is the land of milk and honey, and America is like money grows on trees. And that's what I really want to highlight in this documentary. But in the same level, when we think about Africa, we think about lions, tigers, bears, oh my. We think about starving children and just uncivilization. Yes, there is uncivilization, but there's also poverty in America too. So this picture is actually taken in Nigeria, and so is the next one right here. And I felt like stories like this need to be told to people, because people don't know. And I feel like that's what journalists are here for, to provide information that is not known to everybody. And I feel like that is what I want to do, and I will not sleep until I really get to my goals. What's mine?
8:50? 5, 6, 8:56. Oh wait, I thought I stopped.